I was born in northern Iraq as a Syrian Christian, and then we had to escape. We fled to Baghdad. We started from zero. We were very poor. So, I was 11 years old and I was selling cigarettes in the street of Baghdad in order to survive. We had a pretty bad regime, political situations when Saddam Hussein and Ba'athist regime came in place. And then I decided, this is it. I'm going to leave. I was only 20 years old. So the first country I fled to was Sweden. So I went and applied asylum in Sweden. I got my degree there, I got my master, and I was actually getting my PhD, and I was teaching at the university at the same time. Then we decided to come to US, to Dallas. And there I worked for a US company, and then I worked for Ericsson. And then one day, I decided that I'm going to quit big companies and start my own business. OpenVPN is really, I was very inspired by it because of the open source when I met James. And I had this idea of, okay, if we can build, I understand that VPN is very limited in terms of the technology, it's just tunneling and encryption. But I saw an opportunity in the marketplace that we can build something bigger than this. And that's when me and James, we teamed up together and we say, okay, let's build this next generation technology and next generation software. The other thing that I was very interested in VPN is really the aspects of the security, the aspects of privacy, and the aspect that gives you that level of freedom, because I had that hunger of freedom. When I left Iraq, pretty much there, you couldn't even speak against the government. If you spoke against the president, pretty much you could end up in jail or sometimes even executed. It was very, very brutal dictatorship. So that's really, it inspired me to really work with OpenVPN. The challenges for an immigrant to start a business in the US, I haven't really encountered a lot of challenges, but there is definitely a few barriers. The language is one of the barriers, obviously. The other barrier, you're obviously different. Your approach, your maybe culture, your demeanors are different, right? But honestly, there are some advantages of being an immigrant in this country, because people, look up to you, right? How come? You come to this country, you don't speak. This is not your language, right? Like I speak 4 languages. I think U.S. it's very receptive to immigrants. Security and privacy is very important to me because basically of my background. It is very important for me where I came from, where I was born, and what happened. I know at the time there was no internet, but I think the consequences of not having a security and privacy, it could be severe to the society. It could mean really losing our freedom. It could mean that suddenly we'll become like China, that an authoritarian government would be controlling your information, would be able to basically censor everything you say, everything you serve. So right now it's not about say, because at the time it was about criticizing the government maybe in the newspaper or if you have a piece of paper. But now everything is online. So if it was a piece of paper or it's online, it's the same thing. So how did you secure that piece of paper? Because I remember in my days when there were some political discussions, people had a piece of paper and people want to secure that. How do we secure this? And how do you make sure we keep it private? You see, there was security, there was a privacy there, and you didn't have that. So I believe that's very important to preserve our democracy and to preserve really the freedom we have.